Hello, welcome back to Green Dragon Kung Fu, and I'm Sifu Dr. Jerry. Now in today's video I thought we'd share with you a few of our training tips, things that are maybe original and not necessarily always part of the typical Kung Fu school practice. Some schools we do push-ups, some schools don't, schools don't stretch. Today we're going to just share with you again a few of our innovative little training tips to enhance your ability. Now, one of the things I like to do is when you're practicing, say, center line punching, and I like to put weights in my hand, give me an extra workout, give me an extra challenge, and because it's in my hand, I have control of where I can stop it. So then, what I have here are two 5-pound weights. And so when I get going, center line punches. Obviously, you can just keep going and going and going. Give yourself a number that you want to do, maybe 3 sets of 300 or something like that. Now, I'm using the 5-pound weights typically. So here we got the 10-pound weights. Again, it's going to give you more of a challenge. It'll improve your center line punching power, strengthen your shoulders. Also a 12-pound coming up. So a bit heavier, a little bit bigger. And again, obviously the heavier it gets, the less reps that you're going to be able to do. But just work with that. See how it feels. Your arms will fly when you put the weights down. Actually, we try to clock it. And so we get to about 10 or 12 punches per second. That's pretty good. And there are, of course, other options if you want to stay more traditional. The rings. I find that rings are not best for if you're punching, you start to really bash your hands to shreds. But the rings can be used for different exercises. Developing strength, strong bridge, and you can put as many on as you want.
Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. That's it. And same thing. Same thing. 80, okay? You do yourself. Go.
Another option, of course, is the wrist and ankle weights with Velcro on them, which is a nice. You can snug them up better than the rings, and so they won't. Like these ones here are a little bit too big for me, but if you snug them up and if they stay tight to your hand, then you can move them around and you can keep them on through your whole practicing forms, and it's a great way. When you take them off, everything feels fast. If you work a bit with weights and then take them off, you feel like you're very, very fast compared to when you had the weights on. You put them on your ankles as well. So when you're doing movement, kicking, footwork, gives you that extra challenge. Increases more strength and stamina. And when you take them off, you feel like a superhero. So the theme here so far has been adding some weight to your training. And this happens to be a barbell with the weights taken off the end. And it feels pretty hefty. So you just practice your staff sets using the barbell. So I was doing a simple little staff pattern here. So if you practice with this for however long you want, and then you pick up just the regular staff. The staff, it feels like a feather. You feel like you can move it no problem. Honestly, it's like a toothpick. So I like the feeling of using the weights and then putting it to the side and then seeing how you feel. you haven't done these kind of things before, you will be surprised, pleasantly surprised, at how different you feel using the actual weapon. In China, so the Master Chan, our Grandmaster, he was born there and started practicing there since he was a kid with his grandfather. And so he's telling us that they used to travel from village to village as a kung fu troupe for friendly matches, sometimes not always so friendly. But their guando was so heavy that when they were traveling, 2 people would have to carry it. Now moving that guando around, that heavy one like that, is going to be a different ball game. You learn how to use your body. It's not going to be just all arms. You've got to learn how to swing it. So let's all do it together. All right, now Shane's got the dumbbell or the barbell from the weightlifting, and doing the same pattern. Feels a little heavier, right?
Yeah.
It's a little harder to be precise when you got all this extra weight. And you get your regular staff back. Shane, have a go now and tell us how it feels.
Much easier.
Feels like a toothpick, right? Now, in addition to doing your hamstring stretches on the floor, I like to do some standing up, because that's going to be a lot closer to how your body's going to be when you're throwing a kick. You're not going to be laying on the ground. So what I've done is just, this is just a champ bar here. So I just put my foot through the loop and just pull it up. Pull your leg up. And stay in a standing position, in kick position here. So that's a good hamstring stretch. Now, for side kicks, then we'll just give it a leg up in a side kick position. And again, get the chance to test your body position in this side kick position. Now, of course, you can do the stretches in the traditional way on the floor without any props at all. And so, for example, doing the splits, we're all familiar with this, of course. When we do the splits, we like to keep students on their fingertips. Again, it gives you strength into your fingers instead of on your palms. Keep the fingers strong doing the splits. Now, it's good for the side kicks, right? And then turning into here for the hamstring stretch for the front kicks. Now, if somebody's having a little more difficulty with it, a little less flexible, maybe new to this kind of activity, you can use our bench here and use it for comfort support, so that when you do the splits, nothing's going to let go and you don't get a groin pull. And of course, you can swing over here, and now you can play with it, stretch. Don't bounce, just stretch. Stay on your fingertips. So how does that feel, Shane, when you use the bench?
Feels more secure.
You feel more secure?
Stable, I can trust it more. I feel like I can go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and you don't feel the risk of, like, say, pulling something, because you have more control with
Right,
your
you
arms
have
on
a
the
lot
bench.
more control. I'm not counting on